Akira Egawa is a modern Pokemon TCG illustrator who first made her debut in 2019 with the set Unified Minds. Her very first Pokemon card illustration was Riolu 116/236. Since then, she has illustrated roughly 90 plus Pokemon cards and counting. Before illustrating for the Pokemon Trading Card Game, Egawa actually had a background in 3D modeling, but when creating Pokemon card illustrations, she primarily works in Photoshop. Egawa has also illustrated for several other major franchises and games, including Fire Emblem Cypher, the TCG, One Piece TCG, and mobile games include Fate Grand Order, Fire Emblem Heroes, and Pokemon Masters EX. This shows that Egawa is not just a Pokemon illustrator, but a professional artist who has worked across multiple major franchises. What makes Akira Egawa's artwork stand out is the level of detail and intensity she puts into every illustration. Akira Egawa has explained that one of her main goals when illustrating Pokemon cards is to make the Pokemon look as cool as possible. This philosophy is visible in many of her cards through dramatic lighting, powerful poses, and intense visual presentation. All of these elements work together with one goal in mind: making each Pokemon in the illustration look as cool as possible. Every pose, color choice, and background element is carefully considered to enhance the presence of the Pokemon in the scene. Before she even begins drawing, Egawa studies the Pokemon's Pokedex information, its habitat, and how it might behave in the wild. That research helps her design environments that feel believable. And once you start recognizing Egawa's style, it becomes surprisingly easy to identify her cards without even looking at the illustrator credit. Several standout cards illustrated by Akira Egawa include Zekrom Trainer Gallery from Brilliant Stars. This card is a great example of Egawa's dramatic lighting and cinematic composition. Giratina VSTAR from Crown Zenith. The lighting and textures in this card give Giratina an almost mythological and legendary presence. Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. Charizard is already one of the most iconic Pokemon in the franchise, and Egawa's artwork pushes that intensity even further. This card highlights Egawa's ability to emphasize powerful poses and dramatic presence. And Magmortar and the Electivire from Brilliant Stars. These cards showcase how Egawa uses lighting and background design to amplify the power of the Pokemon. And then last but not least, View VMAX from Fusion Strike. Even with a Pokemon like Mew, which is often illustrated in softer style, Egawa still manages to add her signature dramatic atmosphere. There are several interesting facts about Akira Egawa that many collectors might not know. Egawa's favorite Pokemon are Grimer, Bulbasaur, and Relicanth. She has also been playing the Pokemon games since the era of Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Egawa was selected as a judge for the 2022 Pokemon Illustration Contest, alongside Pokemon Company President and CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara, Pokemon International CEO Kenji Okubo, and illustrators Koki Saito and Tomokazu Komiya. Being selected as a judge alongside these figures highlights the respect Egawa has earned within the Pokemon Illustration Company, within the Pokemon illustration community. One of the reasons collectors appreciate Akira Egawa's artwork is the amount of thought that goes into each illustration. Egawa carefully considers the pose of the Pokemon, the background environment, the color palette, and the lighting of the scene. Next time you look at a Pokemon card illustrated by Akira Egawa, don't just focus on the Pokemon itself. Egawa doesn't just draw the Pokemon. She tries to imagine the Pokemon's daily life and environment, and that's what ends up shaping the background of the illustration. Look at the background, the lighting, and the small details throughout the artwork. Once you begin noticing these elements, you start to understand just how much work goes into each Pokemon card illustration. And that's another Pokemon illustrator you've probably seen hundreds of times, but may not have known by name. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you were able to learn something new from this video, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of your day.